All right, y'all. Good morning. What is it? What? Oh, shoot. What is today? Today is Thursday. It's Thursday. Stop laughing, Selena. I've already asked her like 8 questions this morning. Getting my brain on, still drinking down my coffee and cream. And guys, I'm so excited. I am so excited right now for look. It's like finally thinking about getting ready for next week. Next week, what's today? We will be sitting in Keto Academy, hearing from Dr. Dominique D'Agostino and Jacob Wilson and all these major leaders and influencers. I'm so excited to just add that validation to my belief system. Not that I need it, but just more places to go get those third-party resources and to pull from and to just feed my soul, feed my brain, get inspired to get out there and share it more, because this thing is changing lives. So if you did not get your Keto Academy ticket or more ticket, they release some more on sale. So that's how I would be spending my day today. That's how I have been spending my day today. I've already had three-way calls with potential people that just joined the company in the last week, and I want to get them there. And so I'm excited about that. It's 16% off today. This is the type of day where you go back through your pipeline, you go into your teams, you figure out in those one-on-one phone calls what somebody's objection is for not getting there. Like, if they want to do the business, why on earth would they not be there to learn the business, right? So this morning, preparing for the call today, I just started writing down some different type of qualities. Last night, I was in a group message, and what happened was I saw one promoter say to another new promoter, hey, I'm not sure how that works, so I'll connect you to this person. And that's great. You want to connect people to third-party resources. But then what I saw happen is they had already signed some other people on, and they put us all in this big group message, and they said, will you show them how to do the compensation and back office, which they had never yet received themselves. So the behavior that was replicated was just connect up there. And then I have people in the business that are constantly coming to me once it's starting to move under them, and they're asking, how do I do this? How do I manage this? I'm overwhelmed. And that is where we need to back up, and we need to make sure that our front lines are strong. And it was so simple. It was such a quick fix. I just went to the person who made that initial connection, and I said, we have to establish behaviors right now and right here that we want replicated on and on and on, because me and this other person will not be able to handle the havoc that you're creating, which is an awesome thing. But we need to set up those behaviors right now. So I want to talk about some behaviors. I want to talk about where you are as a player, where you are in your business. And I want you to grab that pen and paper. Be really honest with yourselves. I'm just going to ask you, I'm going to give you some behaviors of people just getting started. And then I'm going to give you some behaviors of maybe some level 2s and level 3s. And then I'm going to give you some behaviors of what I deem to be a level 6 and a level 7. And what I want you to do is think about how fast you want this business to go and grow. And if you want to act like a level 7 at a level 2, you will have a dynamic business. If you want to stay at level 2 behaviors, you will be at level 2 for a very long time. So what I want to do for you today is project a vision of maybe the skills and the qualities that you want to start working on to take this to the next level. I keep hitting mute all, but I just feel like there's some noise. So, when we begin, right, we are, and think about this, I'm going to give you groups of different skill sets that you need to really rock this business. And what I know about this business is that fast is fun and slow sucks. Can anybody agree with that? My daughter's not here, so I said sucks. But fast is fun and slow sucks. And so if you want to put one foot in the water, you're gonna be slow, and you're gonna get disillusioned really fast, and you're going to, like, if you don't have the behaviors and skill sets, let's say, and understanding even the concept of recruiting to invite into an event, and you think if you plan an event a week out and you ask a bunch of people to come and you show up at that event and only 2 people came, you could be done. You could be done with the business. You could be just demoralized. You could say, this doesn't work. This company sucks. I don't want to do sales, yada, yada, yada. You'll think of 1,000 reasons why this wouldn't work for you, but really you just didn't have the tools and resources and understanding of how to recruit into an event. It's a necessity part. And I think so often we forget this is a job and it's a skill set. I want you to pretend like you're in high school, and I'm going to use my experience. You're walking into a brand new job on the first day. What do you need to even feel remotely comfortable there? Would one thing maybe be someone who's a friend, someone who reaches out to you and kind of takes you by the arm and starts showing you how to, make a mocha, how to treat customers? Like, what happens if you show up on your first day for a new job and nobody's there to train you? And nobody's there to talk to you, encourage you, set a pace for you? Like, I don't know if you remember that feeling with a new job. It's terrifying. And what happens here is we don't get terrified. We just back out because we won't do something that we'll fail at. That's too scary. And so what I want is to just establish some behaviors and skill sets that maybe you need to work on, or maybe you need to do a better job leading on. So first of all, I was thinking today, number one, we all have to realize that when somebody joins your team, they're not joining. Some people, we have an amazing product. And so it just so happens in this business, a lot of people do join for the product. But I feel like we're coming to a better job of setting the expectation of keeping them as a customer unless they want to rock a business with you. So let's say they do want to rock a business with you. They're rocking it with you. So you have to realize that the better you are, the better trained you are, the more equipped you are, the more you're engaged, the better you're going to be for bringing on a new business partner. So as many resources as we have that you can get engaged to, like, you got to realize people are joining people here. So are you a person who understands personality types, love languages, serving, encouraging, challenging? Because you're attracting a human being to work with you, to maybe take a risk and that extra time out of their full-time job, full-time motherhood, to actually put in some effort to being with you on your team. What are you going to offer them that's going to help them feel like they made a great, confident decision? It's a people business. And at some point, we all get to this lid of leadership. I've gotten here where my business outgrew my leadership skill set. There's one of two things. I could have gotten really negative and hated people and not understood them and just kind of reclused back, or I could work on me and I could keep learning and I could keep growing and I could keep adding tools to my arsenal on how to serve and relate to people. So I want you to think about that. It's a never-ending personality growth skill set here. Okay, so take an assessment. What book are you reading right now to make you not so socially awkward, or better working with people. There are so many people I've seen in this business, including myself, that are introverts and have shoved ourselves into extroverted roles. And that takes resources and tools and building up of confidence. And that comes through putting ourselves in very uncomfortable situations. So what are you doing right now to lead yourself into a new place of growth? And really honestly think about that. Okay. One of the biggest things, I'm just going to say it, one of the biggest things when you get started in this business is understanding how to be a recruiter, how to be a prospector, how to be an initiator, how to have conversations and pique curiosity with people. So you know what the first book I ever read in this industry was? Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone. I had to wrap my mind around the concept of selling because nobody wants to sell anything. That's what they'll tell you. Well, I don't want to sell people anything. I'm selling my 4-year-old 20 thoughts a day to move her behavior from point A to point B. If you don't learn how to get your idea across to somebody and sell it, you're just not going to be a functioning human being on this earth. Your life will suck. So you might as well embrace the idea that sales isn't just a transactional exchange with money. It's moving people. Don't you want to move people? Don't you want to be an influencer? Don't you want to be able to communicate your ideas to people that makes a change maybe in their life? Stop saying you don't like sales. Stop accepting the idea that we don't have to learn how to be good salespeople. Because if you don't dig into that art, you're going to be very unsatisfied in any business or relationship in your life. So you might as well just own it and figure out how to do it in a way that's comfortable for you and everyone else. So embracing the fact that you got to go out there and you got to sell something. You got to sell yourself. You got to sell your ideas. You got to sell your team. You got to sell your product. You got to sell your company. You got to sell getting better. So go ahead and just learn how to sell right now and take away the negative connotation with the word sell. Dive in. How can I sell without making people feel awkward, or myself? The next thing, after we learn how to prospect, and we talked about that on the call on Monday with mixers, one-on-one coffee meetings, planning, getting people to events, things like that. The next one is you have to be a personality investigator. You have to be a pain point identifier. Okay, make sure you're writing this down. I think you'll want to go back over it or don't write it down if you're driving, but you want to be a listener. Okay, if you don't have a welcome call with someone in your business, or you don't connect them with their team, who's listening to them? Who knows why they're here? And I'm the first one. I have some different specialists on my team that absolutely run full-time careers, and they are what I call my social media net catchers. They actually have no idea about the business. They don't even know how to log into their back office, but they catch fish because of what they do and who they are. And I'll tell you, none of them would ever be ranking up or growing through if I wasn't following their catches and having the one-on-one entry calls. Nobody's going to dive into a business where they haven't met the people. I mean, think about it. If you were walking into a job on the first day and nobody talked to you for a week, would you still be there? You have to do the three-way calls. You have to do the welcome calls. If you are missing that piece in your business, you are missing the growth of the business. We move through relationships with people. So if you dump your new person into a mass group text and you expect them to get going because you handed them a download of the GoPro Go MVP, I will tell you 1 in 20 people will do that. I did that. But I'm telling you right now, being in this business almost 2 years, it's rare you get that fish. You've got to engage them and welcome them, have that one-on-one Zoom, make them feel welcome, introduce them to someone else on your team that can give them that support. Do not skip that step, because if you skip that step, they'll skip that step. And then you'll have all these people under you who have no idea they have a Prove It Pulse, who have no idea there's 11 o'clock trainings throughout the entire week, who have no idea about GoPro Go MVP. And you're just going to have this really lukewarm, mediocre business where you're not ranking through because you didn't teach the front lines a replicatable behavior of doing a new person orientation, basically. And this is a job, and you need that. So you have to be a connector. When you meet someone, I like to get on the Zoom. I want to see their eyes. I want to see their face. I want to hear their why. Like, what are you doing? I mentioned this the other day. You're a single mom, 2 kids, hairdresser on your feet 2 times a day. You've got debt. How are you going to pay that debt off? How are you going to create yourself, a Roth IRA, a retirement account, getting your kids set up with college funds? Like, how would you do that if your life just stayed the same right now? Well, that's what I can't sleep at night with, is the response. That's the fear I hold in me every day. So I need this. I need this job because I have to find something else to pay for all these things that my hairdressing job isn't paying for. It's paying for the groceries and the utilities and the car payment and my kids' school. But I have this whole other thing and I don't know how to overcome it. Well, welcome to our team. Let me show you how to do this on the side of what you already have. Okay, like, I got to know that why. You've got to know that why when you are working with someone. So if you're not getting personal and working on your connecting and your listening and your relationship skills, you are not going to grow a dynamic business here. You are not going to have people who follow you. Don't ever think you're a leader because you have people under you. You are a leader when people want to follow you because you have made an impact on their life and you know them and they know you. And guess what? You can't know everyone in your organization. So once again, when people ask how you handle it, I know my chiefs. I know my chiefs, and I teach behaviors to my chiefs who develop new chiefs from the development that I did with them. You have to establish your front lines and make sure that behavior is replicating. And at some point in your business, you're going to find, some person out here who never got that. And then you got to backtrack and see where it stopped. Where did the behavior stop? No problem. Then you just go back in and you start training again. And you set that wall back up strong. And if this person's not going to do it, you go to the person behind this one. I have a line right now, and there's 4 disengaged people, and then there's 1 person who has been in this business for almost a year, but spent about 4 weeks on 3-ways and Zooms with me and relearning, reestablishing that strong wall. So even though these 4 people are disengaged and have no idea what's going on, I now have fire on my level 5, 6, 7, because I got to build back up a leader right here. So that's my front line right there. Okay, so find where the behaviors of replication are breaking down and go build that wall up, because you can't handle thousands of people, but you select your chiefs and you build them strong. Okay, the third one is closer. Okay, so we've got recruiter, prospector, inviter. If you're not good at that, develop that skill set. Go figure out how to do it. Like I said, I went to Grant Cardone, Sell or Be Sold. The second one was the personality. Go take personality assessments, read about it, read about how to talk to them, identifying pain points, common grounds, being a good listener. That's relational skills. Develop them. The third one is being a connector to people with resources, third-party validation. And when somebody onboards with me, I have a copy and paste I send them. It's back office training, it's compensation program, it's a ketone 101, and it's a 2020. It's on product and business. So I just like to send resources and have them copy that in their notes. So do you have on your phone a notes where you're constantly collecting resources and links? Because if you're trying to answer everybody's questions, you've missed the boat. You're not going to be replicatable. You're not going to grow a strong business. If you answer questions through third-party validation and resources, you will replicate that behavior, and that behavior is easy and replicatable. So have you built up a system on your phone, a different section on your phone of resources that when someone asks a question on, breastfeeding keto OS, oh, yep, here's a video, start collecting your resources. And over time, that means you can stop asking your sponsor what they would do for this or what they would do for that. As time goes on, you'll just have that library yourself, and you'll be more confident in your position and more of that leader in your own tribe as you collect those. Okay, then closer. That's the fourth one, closer. Do you have to have somebody else close your calls? And if you're in a level 1, 2, 3, 4, good for you, because that's the behavior that we've taught. But if you don't know how to close, how do you begin closing all your people's calls? It's language. And I learned that language also in Sell or Be Sold with sales. Closing is part of prospecting. It's part of recruiting. You have got to have the confidence to ask for the sale. You've put in your time, you've put in the relationship, you've put in your energy. Now freaking be a closer. All right, because somebody else down the line is going to close them, and you're the one who opened it. You're the one who started it. Don't do that. Don't let people slip out. A line I like is, and even in my mind, after I've worked with a prospect, you are either red and you do not want this, and I want to know why, or you are green and we need to get your 30-day, 60-day, or you're a promoter. But you will not be a yellow. I am either letting you go or signing you in. No yellows. No yellows. Okay? I hate lukewarm. I hate indecisiveness. I want to know what I've done wrong to not move you to a red or a green. It's like God. Lukewarm, I'll spit you out of my mouth. I want you hot or cold. All right? So you find out where they are. You ask them. Okay? All right. Hey, are you ready to get in an order? What's stopping you right now from doing the 30-day? Just so I know. Money's not there. Okay, great. Next time I see a sale, I'll hit you up. Oh, no problem. I'm going to make you a $20 off coupon. What could you do today? All right. Move them to the red or the green. And the yellows, if they're a yellow, you know what the objection is. So really they're a red, and you know what you can follow up on. Okay. So keep them. That's called your pipeline. Be a closer. Okay. Ask for the sale. If you're a level 1, level 2, level 3, you get somebody on a 3-way call with more confidence so they can close them for you. And if you want to grow in this business, then you become a closer yourself, because you're going to have to be that closer for your new, more insecure teammates coming on board. Okay, you're going to have to build that confidence by mimicking how to be a closer. The more my people hear me close for them, the more they close themselves. And then the more they'll turn around and say, hey, give me your people. I love Satin and Selena's language. Satin one time said she had such confidence in Selena. She's like, Selena, that's a 10 out of 10. Like, oh, wouldn't that be awesome as a leader to have all your people say, just get them on the phone with me. Satin now, she's closing, she's batting a 9 out of 10. Like, what an awesome sponsor. And you know what? Satin didn't learn to bat a 9 out of 10 by closing herself. She learned from Selena, who learned from me. I'm barely ever closing for Satin. We don't do a lot of calls together. because Selena and I trained so hard together, and that behavior replicated to Satin. So be that person, establish the behaviors that you would want 5 lines down without being there. And you're going to be there, you're going to jump in there, but your life will be a lot better if you work really hard with the people that you bring in and establishing behaviors from the get-go. So closing, learn how to close in this business. Okay, you're moving on, you're moving through the ranks. I'm going to tell you some. When you start getting to a level 6, guys, you're still a baby, in my opinion, because sometimes you can sneak into a level 6 with 1 or 2 leaders exploding under you. But here's the thing, you've got to start being a leadership developer at a level 6. Okay, so between level 1 and 5, you better be working on your prospecting, your recruiting, your connecting, your relationships, your closing skills, because when you get a level, Grant Cardone, Sell or Be Sold, when you get to a level 6, you've got to have some strong leaders to push you into a 7 with a bigger jump in volume. No matter what you do, you won't rank through unless you're surrounded by some rock stars. I just cannot get to where I've gotten if I don't have chiefs of their own tribes. So it's about you elevating the people around you. It's about you encouraging them, challenging them, training them, supporting them. My level 7s don't come to me and say, hey, do you think we should do a mixer? Heck no. My level 7s have mixers scheduled throughout the months, and they invite me in if I can make it. So are you initiating your own events to plan? And one thing that I wanted to talk about today is events, recruiting to invite. What would it look like this week, the week before Keto Academy and more, right? The event is almost sold out. There were some tickets that went up today. What does it look like if you start planning an event for the week you come home from war? What if you plan an online event? What if you plan mixers on your team at their house in different demographics? Because everybody is coming out fired up. And now you guys already have the event date set, and maybe you're sitting there at more and you're going to feel so inspired to get out there and grow, but you've already got the Facebook invite made. So now what you're doing is sending personal messages to confirm that people are coming. And hey, you're coming? Awesome. Do you have 2 friends you can invite? Guys, that's called recruiting to invite. And let me tell you something. You have the opportunity every single week here on this team to recruit to invite. Okay, tonight, it's in your pulse. Tonight at 8 Central Time, 9 Eastern Time, we have Heather Cardin doing the Keto One-on-One. And then we have Satin doing the Prover One-on-One. New trainer, all right, new people training. So, and then we also do that on Sunday evenings. So what if your whole week was spent having one-on-one invites to getting people to invite to recruit into that event? And here's what recruit to invite, that gets mixed up a lot. Here's what that looks like. Let's say you invite somebody to get on the call tonight. Okay, that's inviting them on the call to recruit them. And what we want to do is switch that up. All right, so stay with me here, because I had to have Brian Underwood explain this to me like 5 times before it clicked. But I'm very blonde sometimes with these ideas. Okay, so just kind of I'll break it down real slow, because I have to if I'm saying it. But if I'm talking to someone today, I want to recruit them to invite tonight. So if I have a new person that I'm talking to and they're not even in the business, my outcome for the discussion is to try and get that new person to go out today and invite 3 people to bring with them to the Ketone 101 and New Prover training tonight. That is called recruiting to invite. I'm recruiting this brand new person to invite people into the event versus inviting them to the event tonight to try and recruit them into my business? How much likely are they going to join my team if I've had that time, that prospecting, that connecting, that relationship already established, and they have a good understanding that they should bring on 3 friends tonight, and then 2 of them the next day join our follow-up Zoom call, where then I get to close not just that person that I invited, but the other 2 people that I had them bring on. Don't you think they're more likely to join if their friends want to join? Versus if I got 1 person, I'm just talking to them about why they should join. It's peer pressure. It's, oh, wow, this works. I invited 3 friends, like she said, and they want to join. I better get in. All right. So it's a very powerful concept. And here's an idea on how to explode your business. This Saturday, I'm having a local team meeting with my teammates here in Kansas City. And we are going to get out a calendar, and we are going to have, this is how I started recruiting when I first joined the company. I would every Thursday night, I started with like 3 people here in Kansas City. Every Thursday night, we would go out to a patio. The weather's getting nice. All right, we'd go out to a patio restaurant. We bring a banner of Prove It. We'd bring some brochures. We'd shake up some samples, but it wasn't about that. We really barely talked about anything. I connected people out at that warm environment. And this is something Brian Underwood talked to me about. It was called recruiting to invite. So I would make the relationships, you know, after 3 weeks, after 4 weeks, I had some people showing up who had lost 23 pounds. All I did was just connect them to someone else there, someone else had brought, and they would share that story with them, because testimonies, they inspire and they move people. And so it was a warm environment. Nobody likes to just show up to, let's say, the old school MLM meetings anymore. They show up because they have a relationship with somebody and they're going in to support them. I'm going to a jewelry party tonight. I don't really want any jewelry, but I had some friends invite me, and there's going to be some other women there who I know are entrepreneurs. So I'm saying yes to that. If I just got invited through an Eventbrite to a jewelry party, heck no. But one of my friends called me for another friend, and there's going to be some other women there. I'm like, all in. Great. It's a new pool for me of people who are entrepreneurs and they take action. Okay. But I'm going based on a relationship. So you have people, you plan the little event for them. By the way, if you're a level 6 or you're a level 7, you're the one who steps up and says, here's our event. So if you're a level 3, plan an event. Act like a level 7. How often do you provide your home to people to come into, to a new prover to invite people to? Stop waiting on the person above you to plan something. Step up and take massive action and do it yourself. That's leadership. Okay. So people meet out there, they build the relationships. It's not prove it driven. It's not ketones driven. We're building relationships. And then we have an informative meeting set on the Tuesday night afterward. And we have information that we hand people if they want to know more. And that's very cool, because we're like, you know what? I don't want to talk about the business here tonight. I'll give you a little sample. You can take home this sachet. If you want to hear more about it, we're having a Tuesday night mixer at my house, because that's a little bit scarier to walk into without warm relationships. So we build those warm relationships, that environment at those Thursday night out public places, meeting people. And then we ask them to come back Tuesday with 2 friends. And that's recruiting to invite. It's how I started the business in the Midwest, is having these steady Thursday night meetouts all over Kansas City with an informative meeting planned the following Tuesday. And I had different teammates that I expected to show up. So we all took turns with calling the restaurant ahead of time, getting that space set up, and then hosting the mixers. So there was kind of a captain each week, so it didn't fall on one person. Okay, so that's a great idea. What happens if you set your calendar up right now for coming back to more, and you come back with people fired up and ready to move, and you have events already planned. And right now you have events already planned every Thursday evening and every Sunday evening. So you work the entire week on having those personal one-on-one relationships and getting people to invite people onto the call. Don't ever stop at inviting one new person. Your job is to get them to invite 2 to 3 people onto those Ketone 101 calls and new prover training calls. So that's we're almost yep, there we go. So I could go on and on, but you know, basically as you rank through the levels, you've got to then, after those simple steps, you've got to develop being a trainer and a teacher, being a role model, developing behaviors that you want replicated. And okay, cool. And then guys, it's all about the behaviors that lead you to breaking MVPs and all-stars. Okay, so if I have someone who broke an MVP, the next step is teaching them how to break MVPs and becoming an all-star. My goal personally each month is to hit MVP. All right, that's just my own personal goal. Is I start each month like I got to break MVP, and I'm constantly recruiting, sifting, sorting, but I'm up to date, up to speed with the trials it takes to break MVP, because I want to do it each month. And then, you know what, my leaders see that action. They see those customers being put in, they see the methods of operation it takes from me to do it, and they replicate it. And I got people breaking 6 and 7 all around me because of the behaviors that I know that I have to set. All right, you can't ask people to go where you won't go. You can't train them to go or to do what you're not doing. So you really take a hard look at yourself right now. Are you acting like a level 2? And do you want to be a level 8 in this business? Find your mentors and start demonstrating the behaviors of an 8, and you will grow the business fast, which is fun, instead of slow, which sucks. So make sure tonight, now everybody, here's put it into action. Don't just go right now. Like right now, I want you to find 3 people to invite on the call tonight. And if they say they'll go, see if they'll get on the phone with you today and ask them if they know anyone else that they can invite on. Moral of the story, right? It's recruiting to invite, not inviting to recruit. Okay, I hope we broke that down. Did anybody get that? Did that make sense? Okay, good, because I think that's hard and I still mess it up. But invite somebody and then get them to invite 2 people. And if they tell you they can't do it tonight, awesome. We have it Sunday night. Okay? Those are your events you get to utilize to build your business right now today. Will you utilize it? Will you go get 3 people on the call tonight who will all bring 2 people on? Dang, you could hit MVP by just playing into Thursday and Sunday this week. Really? You're either going to do it or you're not. A level 7 and 8, they don't just do it, but they make sure they got 5 to 6 other people around them doing it. A level 2 will maybe do it twice. Okay, where do you want to be? What are you willing to do? You're the only one who knows. Okay, so that's your action step today. Load that up. Okay, awesome guys, have a great day. Oh shoot. Acknowledgements. We've got some rock stars. Okay, let's see here. All right, we've got Janae Martin, rank 2, Johnny Sanchez, rank 2, Joseph Calderon, rank 3, Summer Crow, rank 4. Kyle Kinslow just hit Go Pro. Awesome job, Keto Kyle. And that's what I got on today. I have Eric, Terry, he just hit a rank 2. Eduardo, go crush it today, dude. I know you want this. All right, guys, have a good one. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Way to crush it, Abigail.